25 old home details from the past. That time forgot. Are you ready to discover the lost soul of houses? As modern structures are called flimsy stick houses, we turn back the memory album to a time when architecture was an exquisite handmade masterpiece. Let's recall the secret room of the Victorian era, the steep servant staircase, and the dangerous conversation pit of the 70s. Today, we unveil the mystery of old house features that have vanished over time. Big front porches. This is one of the clearest ways to differentiate between the oldies and the young guns, because only the older generation truly had a porch to sit and relax on. How many of you have sat on the chair on the front porch, quietly watching the world go by? A large, spacious porch with ornate decorations and a big swing will immediately evoke deep memories for many of us. One of those memories, for kids growing up near West Chicago, is being gently scolded and told to stay off other people's lawns. The main purpose of these porches was not just for resting or scolding children, but also as a natural means of cooling and social interaction with neighbors. At that time, air conditioning was not common or non-existent in many households. Therefore, people sought natural coolness, and the spacious porch, designed to catch the breeze and provide shade with enough room for furniture, was the optimal solution. People gathered, exchanged information, and built community on these porches. The big porch gradually disappeared from new housing developments, marking the end of an era of open community communication and dependence on nature. Secret room. The concept of a secret room always stimulates our imagination, and it is a prominent hallmark of the Victorian era. Many people have fantasized about what they would do if they possessed a huge fortune, and one option is to build a mysterious mansion full of hidden rooms, such as the Winchester House in San Jose. This strange 19th century house is not a typical Victorian home. It was built by Sarah Winchester, the heiress to the Winchester rifle fortune. The house was designed with many confusing elements, and according to rumors, it was a way to appease the spirits of those who died from Winchester rifles. Secret rooms in large houses like this could serve various purposes, depending on the owner's needs and wealth. They could be used to hide valuable objects from thieves, or as a secret escape route in an emergency. Or, as the legend of Sarah Winchester suggested, they were a place to conceal a personal secret. Although the idea of a ghostly and confusing mansion sounds far-fetched, the Winchester house remains a strong testament to the strange and fascinating things people can do with vast wealth. Access to these rooms was often through hidden staircases, narrow and secret passages, further increasing the drama and mystery. Shoe scraper. The shoe scraper or boot scraper is a common feature in old European houses, often placed right next to the entrance. Their purpose is clear: to help you clean the mud stuck to your shoes before entering the house. Interestingly, what is called mud is a euphemism for blocks of animal waste on the streets. That's right, initially they were designed to remove horse manure, which was extremely common before automobiles became the primary mode of transportation. These tools were present primarily from the late 1800s until around World War I and II in the UK and many other countries. They are a humble reminder of a time when streets were unpaved and horses were the main mode of transport. Many shoe scrapers were dismantled during the wars, as the metal, especially cast iron, was collected by the government for the war effort. An in-depth study showed that although metal was needed due to an unclear collection message, a large amount of cast iron was collected but was not actually necessary for manufacturing weapons, leading to them being piled up and unused. Stained glass. Stained glass, with its wonderful combination of art, history, and beauty, can be seen as the LED version of the 1800s. Initially, they were a clear symbol of wealth and influence, reserved only for the elite and churches. Stained glass production was a high art form, requiring artisans to handcraft and piece together glass fragments into various patterns. It was like a puzzle game, but extremely fragile and sometimes frustrating for the craftsman. During the Victorian era, after a strong revival of medieval architectural style, stained glass found its way into residential homes. They were used to decorate balconies and other windows around the house. The function of these windows was to beautify the interior, and moreover, they provided privacy by obscuring the view from the outside, while still allowing soft, diffused light to enter the house. The wonderful thing is that, thanks to natural light, these stained glass windows would change color and pattern depending on the time of day, creating colorful and unique geometric patterns. Even public buildings like city halls, libraries, and museums also integrated various types of stained glass doors and windows, often used to commemorate historical events and honor heroes. Servant staircase. If you happen to visit a truly old house, especially a large mansion or estate from the 19th and 20th centuries of the Victorian era, you might come across these servant staircases. They were a common feature in those houses. These staircases were usually narrow, steep, and sometimes hidden, enough to scare new owners if they didn't know about their existence. They were created as an alternative passage to the main staircase, which was used by the owners and guests. The design purpose of these secret passages was to allow servants to move throughout the house without being seen by anyone or interrupting events taking place inside. This is almost the primitive version of incognito mode. Although the main purpose was to facilitate work and help servants move back and forth quickly without being hindered by others, they were also often misunderstood as a means of discrimination and separation of servants from the rest of the family. Fast forward to today, you can still find these staircases in old houses, but they are often sealed up. The main reason is that they are considered a health hazard. These steep steps are no joke. Just climbing up and down a few times gives you a week's worth of leg muscle workout. So it's no surprise that people back then had very strong calf muscles. Built-in ironing boards. Those who have lived in old houses will probably remember a special kind of closet, one that could swing open and hit you on the head at any moment. These secret cabinets are called ironing closets. They were designed to hook an ironing board into the wall, which could then be slid down and used when needed, offering incredible convenience. These cabinets are a relic from a time when everyone still knew how to iron clothes properly, making it the pinnacle of convenience and space saving. They are like a multi-tool in terms of flexibility. Although advertised as the ultimate housewife tool, these ironing cabinets were extremely versatile in many other ways. They could be used as grandma's kitchen counter or as a prop for children to play with. In terms of location, a typical ironing closet was usually placed as close to the kitchen as possible. These cabinets were always fully stocked with everything necessary to combat the stubborn wrinkles that still cling to our clothes today. They are items that served through the biggest upheavals of the last century, from the Great Depression, World War II, and even Season 8 of Game of Thrones. Did you enjoy this trip down memory lane? Don't forget to hit the hype button. It's the best way to help our channel grow. Luggage hideaway. This is an architectural detail that many people don't know what to call. Some call it a luggage hideaway, some call it a space for card tables, and some call it a place for folding beds. If you have a small door next to the hallway closet, you can rest assured it's not a place for someone to hide. These doors are usually narrow, only about 12 inches wide, about 30 centimeters, and less than half the height of a standard closet. However, they have significant depth, often around 3 feet. In some old houses, these small spaces were designated as storage for card tables, something almost everyone had in the 1950s. These tables needed to be neatly stored until guests arrived. Remember, in the 1950s, card games were an important source of entertainment and social interaction. Therefore, having a specialized space in the hallway closet to store them was perfectly logical. Coal chutes. Instead of carrying heavy bags of coal through the main door or windows, coal would be poured through this chute and dropped directly into the coal bin located near the furnace inside the basement. In colder months, when heating was a survival necessity, easy access to fuel was crucial. Coal chutes solved this problem efficiently, helping to keep the house warm while maintaining relative cleanliness in the main living areas. Although they no longer have any modern function today due to the replacement by gas or electric heating systems, coal chutes remain an interesting historical relic. Modern owners of old homes may choose to seal them up, as they are no longer needed and can form an unwanted opening. However, many others decide to preserve the coal chute cover to maintain historical authenticity. Preserving details like coal chutes helps connect us to the lives of the people who once lived in the house, reflecting how they worked and adapted to the cold environment. Telephone nooks. Recall the years from the 1920s to the 1950s when rotary phones were introduced and became popular. Due to their bulky size, you needed a special place to install them, and that's why telephone nooks were born. These were recessed spaces in the wall, usually located in the living room or hallway. Along with a contemporaneous intercom system, the telephone nook was the high-tech communications headquarters of the 1920s. A typical telephone nook would have a small shelf for the receiver and a place to store the phone book. Some versions even included a small seat and reading lamp. The funniest thing was those long, coiled phone cords. Did you want to walk more than 2 steps away? Impossible. You were stuck right in that nook, tethered by the coiled cord like a chain. Wanted privacy? Good luck. Corded phones forced you to stay in one place, and since gossip was just as important as the call, the whole family usually overheard your conversation. It was common to see 2 siblings fighting next to the phone nook over who would call grandma first. As time went on and mobile phones replaced landlines, telephone nooks were gradually abandoned. Root cellars. The root cellar, or affectionately known as the hobbit hole, was a common feature for rural homeowners, especially in the 1970s. These storage spaces were dug deep underground and utilized the natural insulating properties of the earth. As a result, they could maintain a stable temperature year-round. This was like Mother Nature's natural air conditioning system. Before refrigerators and air conditioning became widespread, root cellars provided an ideal environment for storing vegetables, tubers, fruits, and other canned goods. They are a symbol of self-sufficiency and a sustainable lifestyle. Root cellars came in many shapes and sizes, including walk-in cellars, pit cellars, and even versions that could be converted into bomb shelters. Although the rise of refrigerators has diminished their status in modern home design, for those who grew up with them, they are an unforgettable memory. They were the perfect hiding spot during intense games of hide-and-seek. Icebox. The icebox was essentially an insulated cabinet used to hold large blocks of ice. The melting ice would cool the food inside, helping to preserve it longer. This was an essential solution for keeping food cold in a world lacking electricity and refrigerators. Some houses even had special designs to make ice delivery more convenient. They had small hatches or doors built directly into the kitchen wall, allowing the iceman to place the cold block of ice onto the icebox without having to enter the house, causing disruption. This feature ensured that the cooling process was never interrupted and the food remained safe. Sometimes, some houses even had built-in wall nooks specifically to house the icebox. Although the icebox is only a historical relic today and ice delivery is long gone, it remains a symbol of ingenuity in household living. Preserving these quirky features can tell a unique story about how we struggled to keep food fresh and how convenience was developed step by step in the history of housing. Floor grates. Floor grates are celebrated as the great-grandfather of modern heating vents. They were a common feature everywhere in old houses. These grates were both practical and aesthetically valuable, and they were used to heat and ventilate the house before the HVAC, heating, ventilation, and air conditioning system was invented. For a family with many curious children, floor grates could be a nightmare. Children were often curious about these grates and threw objects down them more than once. Therefore, if you are looking for a little treasure hunt, these old floor grates are the best choice to find lost treasures from decades ago. Although heating grates are still present in many homes today, modern vents are considered boring. They are just simple metal bars. They lack sophistication, elegance, and most importantly, they lack the ability to drop keys into the abyss. Preserved in historical homes or integrated into modern designs, these grates continue to attract attention with their intricate patterns and enduring charm. Laundry chutes. Laundry chutes are a feature that is considered a luxury today, but they were once ubiquitous in the good old days. Except for vacuum cleaners, the laundry chute is a feature that we would be willing to use every day and never get tired of. A common question in the 1970s was, "Hey honey, have you seen the cat lately?" Laundry chutes are truly an undeniable convenience. Although we are unsure where the laundry goes and constantly buying new clothes, towels, and items is expensive, the feeling of being able to simply throw your dirty clothes into a hole in the wall and not have to worry about them anymore is completely worth it. It was a great solution to keep dirty clothes from piling up in bedrooms or on the floor, making laundry collection much quicker and more efficient. This feature is truly a clever design, solving the problem by utilizing gravity. Although they might be considered unsanitary or dangerous for small children today, for the generations who use them, the laundry chute is a memory of simplifying household chores. Especially if they had the added feature of vacuum power, the convenience would be raised to a new level. If you own an old house and know of a unique feature we haven't mentioned, please enrich the community's knowledge by commenting below. Rainwater cisterns. In old houses, especially in rural areas, having a rainwater collection system was not uncommon. It was an essential need. Water was collected and stored in rainwater cisterns. These cisterns were usually built underground or integrated into the house's stone foundation. This is a reminder that a sustainable lifestyle is not a new trend at all. Our ancestors adopted it long ago. These rainwater collection systems were important, not only for providing water for gardens, but sometimes also for household use. They demonstrate ingenuity in managing natural resources in conditions lacking a reliable public water system. Preserving rainwater cisterns during old house restoration is an act of tribute to this green living principle. Today, as the sustainability movement is resurging, these systems are being considered for revival. For conservators, it is a detail that tells a story of human adaptation to the environment and their resourcefulness in facing water challenges. Dumbwaiter. In old houses, people often saw two such small dumbwaiters. One was usually located near the furnace, tasked with bringing fuel from the basement to the upper floor. The other ran from the basement all the way up to the attic, with hatches opening in the kitchen, the upstairs hallway, and the attic itself. It was incredibly convenient for moving laundry, odds and ends, and other items around the house. Even in kitchens with a butler's pantry, the dumbwaiter could be used to discreetly transfer food between the kitchen and the dining room. Sometimes previous owners dismantled the dumbwaiter, leaving the new owners with an inexplicable hatch in the living room and two unusually tall, awkwardly narrow closets. Advice to our audience: if someone asks you to build a project with a retired engineer, especially a dumbwaiter, run away. These things are incredibly complex. A professional technician would need to properly label the wires for safety, or you could opt for a manual version if you want things simpler. The complexity and utility of the dumbwaiter highlight the difference in scale and management methods of old houses compared to modern homes. High ceilings. Having high ceilings is a privilege. Congratulations, you just saved yourself the trouble of choosing the right bookshelf size. In the Victorian and Georgian eras, high ceilings were a clear symbol of influence and wealth. The absolute best benefit, according to some, was the attic that came with high ceilings. Whenever something needed to be moved up or down, you could just throw it over the railing. Laundry goes one way, occasionally throw a bag of chips, and if you are bold enough, toss up a can of soda. The trick is to leverage the height. Use the vertical space to your advantage. High curtains create drama, oversized artworks make a statement, and if you run out of ideas, you can always hang a swing, because why not? However, while high ceilings boost your pride, they also bring regret. With ceilings up to 15 feet high, even the simple act of changing a light bulb becomes an extreme sport, requiring your rock climbing skills. Transom windows. If natural light inside the house is important to you, then transom windows are an old house feature we rarely see today. These are small, horizontal windows, usually located above doors or large windows. Many mid-century homes had transom windows above sliding glass doors. They look beautiful. We personally like transom windows because they add light and often create a view of trees in the back, giving you a vague connection to the outside world. Furthermore, they allow air and light to circulate between rooms, especially in townhouses or apartments, helping to maximize available natural light. Transom windows also provide privacy without having to struggle with daily curtains or blinds. Although the introduction of HVAC systems has made them obsolete in terms of ventilation, they remain a beautiful feature, adding personality and symmetry to the space. Many homeowners are now restoring transom windows for aesthetic reasons or to brighten dark hallways. If you ever decide to remove them, take the glass out, and you will see them repurposed in various creative ways. Pantries. It was a wonderful time to be alive. We found our way to our friends' houses for lunch and scoured the pantry looking for fruit, cookies, or any snack we could find. Then we might get scolded by the friend's mother and told to go back outside. We would run out, take a sip of water from the garden hose, and perhaps spray each other for a few minutes before running off to find the next adventure. The pantry was an important part of family life, a hub for basic food supplies and a center of self-sufficiency. The memories associated with these pantries are not just about snacks. It is also the memory of a time when parents encouraged, promoted, and facilitated civic activities and projects. This list includes activities like charity food pantries, scholarships, playground renovations, library fundraising, and much more. These pantries were witnesses to strong community connections. Back then, the 10 p.m. news always had the tagline, "It's 10 o'clock. Do you know where your children are?" Conversation pit. The conversation pit was once the center of attention in every homeowner's life in the 1970s. As the name implies, these sunken seating areas, often called sunken living rooms, were exactly what a generation without phones needed to sit down and have an intimate family experience. In fact, it wouldn't be wrong to call them the mullet haircut of interior design, business on the edges, and a party in the middle. Some even called them indoor pools. However, for those who grew up with them, the conversation pit was also a serious health hazard. Have you ever told someone to be careful in the living room, only to hear them fall 6 seconds later? That happened a lot. Besides being a potential hazard, they were also very limiting. Want to change the furniture? Too bad, it's built in. Want to rearrange the room? Also too bad, there's a hole right in the middle of the floor. This is why we don't see them anymore. The conversation pit is a great example of a design trend that emphasized closeness and social interaction, but failed in terms of long-term flexibility and safety. Have you ever been stuck in a conversation pit? Share your childhood story in the comments section. Natural cooling methods. Oldies kept it cool. Many Americans grew up without air conditioning in the 60s and 70s. To survive, they had to be extremely creative. The most important thing is that humans were born to endure heat. Houses were built with smart architectural features to cope with the heat. They heavily insulated the attic and added many vents on the roof to release hot air. Sleeping porches were also very popular. This was a screened-in room, usually on the second floor, where families would drag their mattresses to sleep to escape the heat inside the house. House architecture was also optimized. Houses had windows that opened on all four sides to create cross breezes. Windows in each room were positioned to catch the best airflow. The house was oriented on the lot to catch drafts. They had spacious, airy, shaded porches with enough room for furniture. Kitchens were placed at the back of the house, away from the living areas and sometimes even separated from the house by a hallway. Old ceilings were 12 feet high for heat to rise. They were also more creative with fans. Fans were placed in windows to circulate air throughout the house, not just cool one spot. They spent a lot of time outdoors under the shade of trees or on the porch, making ice cream, playing cards, catching fireflies in the evening, and eating. Newel posts with surprise features. In Victorian architecture, the staircase was a work of art with unique details. Newel posts are the large columns located at the top and bottom of the stair railing, sometimes designed to contain interesting surprises. Not every newel post is the same. Some were equipped with small compartments to store small but important items. These compartments could be used to store business cards, notes, or even keys. This is a wonderful subtlety, turning a massive and fixed architectural element into a convenient and secure storage place. Preserving these posts with their added secret functions is like holding onto a secret from history. These newel posts add a layer of charm and mystery to any old house tour. They reflect an era where formality and discretion went hand in hand. A discreet place to store items necessary for social interaction or household management without wanting to expose them. Such small details are what create the soul, personality, and ingenuity that modern constructions often lack. Home intercoms. Wired into the walls, home intercom systems really made communication between floors easier, especially between the children's area upstairs and the rest of the house. Mom often used the FM radio feature when cleaning the house. For many families, yelling was still much easier. Occasionally, we even used the intercom to eavesdrop. We would lock the kitchen intercom in open mode when we thought parents were talking about one of the children. Unfortunately, the intercom was sometimes used for torture. Mothers used the radio function to wake us up for school. It wasn't music. But the news about the RFK assassination, or another recording that Mom played extremely loudly through the intercom to get us up. If you tried to disable and remove it, it was a complex mess. You would have to deal with millions of wires and power converters that would buzz wildly in the wall. The question is, why have it? The yelling system worked better. What is the yelling system? Simply stand in the kitchen and yell, "Dinner is ready." Everyone in the country could hear you yell. Milk chutes/milk doors. Milk chutes or milk doors are a lovely relic from the time when milk delivery personnel were part of daily life. You can easily find these small doors on the facade of suburban houses. They do exactly what their name implies. For children growing up at that time, it was like a magical portal. They eagerly opened it every morning, waiting to be filled with all sorts of dairy goods, from cheese to fresh milk. These passages with two doors were designed with a hollow compartment in the middle, where milk delivery people could place the milk bottles. Milk delivery people were brave individuals, waking up at dawn, fighting stray cats and dogs, and racing against time to ensure your family had the necessary breakfast to start the day. More luxurious versions even had a needle to indicate to the delivery person how much milk you needed. Today, many people are unaware of the charm of these doors, and their use has shifted from milk delivery to becoming secret passages for both children and pets when they get into trouble. Push-button switches. We had push-button switches with the characteristic click-clack sound. The 20th century brought the era of electricity and the widespread use of switches. Before that, light bulbs were usually turned on by pulling a cord, and then the push-button switch appeared. They provided a satisfying click when they operated. An average switch would have two buttons, alternating when you wanted to turn the light on or off. The interesting thing is that people like to decorate their switches. The cover plates were often made of brass, porcelain, and sometimes mother-of-pearl inlay. Despite their classic appeal and nostalgic value, these switches were not as safe as modern switches. They were more prone to malfunction than usual due to the knob and tube wiring system. They also caused a small spark behind the plate, leading people to believe that little demons were trapped in the wires and were doing our bidding, but they wanted to break free and kill us if they could. Push-button switches have since been replaced by toggle switches. They are much more boring, and we agree with that. Butler's Pantries. The butler's pantry is a refined historical feature, often strategically located between the kitchen and the dining room. Its purpose was to serve as a buffer and preparation space. In large houses with serving staff, this room was used to arrange meals before they were brought to the table, store precious silverware and china, and prepare drinks. Larger houses would have specialized cabinetry, countertops, and sometimes even sinks and dumbwaiters in this room. Although the formality of hosting guests has changed over time, the need for additional storage and preparation space remains. The butler's pantry is making a strong comeback in modern home design, especially for those who want to combine modern convenience with traditional elegance. While the formality may change, these rooms demonstrate the need for organized storage and thoughtful preparation in large families. They are symbols of maintaining order and discretion in managing serving activities. Restoring or recreating a butler's pantry can add architectural value and convenience for modern gatherings. 25 forgotten things you'd find in every 1980s kitchen. Close your eyes and hear the sound of the coffee percolator gurgling. You are in the 80s, where the boldest technology was right in the kitchen. Washing machines that cleaned both cloves and dishes? The famous Ginsu knife, with its ability to cut through tin cans, was once the dream of every household. It's time to delve into the items that were once the pinnacle of technology, the glittering symbols of a pretty cool era. GE Wall Refrigerator. Rewind time and you are stepping into a futuristic kitchen style of the 1950s to 1970s. Instead of having to dodge a bulky metal box that took up all the floor space, your eyes would be drawn to a seamless wall where the refrigerator was fully integrated, installed straight into the kitchen wall. It looked modern and sleek, as if custom designed rather than a standard household appliance. At the time, this innovation was revolutionary. Floor space was precious property, and GE solved that problem with a design that significantly saved floor space. Its unique design added a touch of sophistication and uniqueness to the kitchen, and GE also offered this classic appliance in various colors to suit the aesthetics of each home. Homeowners who owned this refrigerator demonstrated that they were trendsetters, valuing cleanliness and modernity in design. They were not only aesthetically appreciated, but were also famous for their excellent durability. Although durable and beautiful, this refrigerator encountered a major problem. It did not have much storage space. As families grew, the need for food storage skyrocketed, especially with the increase in convenient packages and larger shopping habits, and larger, more efficient refrigerators emerged to meet that need. Electric can opener. Before the era of the electric can opener, opening a tin can could be a time-consuming chore, sometimes quite dangerous and requiring a lot of strength. The introduction of the electric can opener freed millions of people from that manual labor. This machine was simply a convenient tool, but was a lifesaver, especially popular in busy families, and those with conditions like arthritis that made using manual can openers difficult. Older models of electric can openers were often very large. They were designed to be proudly displayed on the kitchen counter, not only because of their size, but also because they were a symbol of modernity and convenience. This appliance was created with the mission of making can opening easy, and also featured a very useful integrated feature, a convenient knife sharpener feature built right into the machine. This combination transformed the can opener into an essential multi-purpose utility on the countertop, demonstrating the era's trend toward integrated functional design. The original electric can opener was considered a futuristic device, creating a sleek look and conveying a sense of a modern life with less strenuous work. Frigidaire Flare Stove. If the GE refrigerator was about minimalism, the Frigidaire Flare Stove was the epitome of futuristic technological extravagance. Appearing during a time when everyone dreamed of the Jetson-style housing, the Flare was an extremely unique and distinctly science fiction appliance. It completely redefined the concept of a traditional stove. The most outstanding feature and the trademark that made the Flare famous was the cooktop that could slide in and out like a drawer. Imagine pulling it out to cook, and when finished, gently pushing it back in to hide it, creating a clean, seamless surface. The innovation did not stop there. This stove was also designed with the oven placed at eye level. This made checking baked goods or roasted meat much easier than having to bend low to the floor, like with traditional ovens. Additionally, the oven door had the capability to retract inside. This not only made the kitchen look tidier, but also minimized the risk of tripping over an open oven door. This modern and stylish look helped the Flare become a decorative item, beautifying any kitchen it was present in, and it was also available in various colors to suit every decor style. Presto Hot Dogger. For a quick meal, especially hot dogs for the kids in the 1960s, no appliance was faster than the Presto Hot Dogger. This was a unique, arguably bizarre kitchen appliance. The Presto Hot Dogger made a bold and unbelievable claim. It could cook up to 6 hot dogs in just 1 minute. Its cooking method was extremely distinctive and, by today's standards, seemed a bit dangerous. The device worked by transmitting electricity directly through the hot dogs, causing them to sizzle and twist as they cooked. For children and those who needed a rushed meal, the Hot Dogger was a great convenience. Watching hot dogs being cooked electrically was also an entertaining experience, especially at the time, offering a sense of future technology and incredible speed in food preparation. That convenience did not last too long. The hot dogger was one of many gadgets that were discarded and replaced by a much more convenient and versatile appliance. The modern microwave oven. The microwave offered the ability to reheat and cook a variety of foods, not just limited to hot dogs. Countertop dishwasher. Before built-in dishwashers became the standard, there was an excellent saving grace solution for small kitchens, the countertop dishwasher. This was a compact and convenient appliance, specifically designed to fit snugly on the kitchen counter. Its introduction brought unprecedented utility, especially for those living in apartments or those with small kitchens, lacking the luxury of space. The countertop dishwasher made washing a small amount of dishes by automated machine an accessible possibility. It was popular for its flexibility, allowing users to enjoy the convenience of machine dishwashing without having to sacrifice precious cabinet space. You just needed to connect it to the sink faucet and start the cycle to free your hands from the tiring chore of dishwashing after every meal. There were even other portable dishwashers that could be moved around the kitchen and provided extra countertop space when needed. When families became willing to sacrifice cabinet space for a larger, more specialized dishwasher, the countertop version became less popular and eventually disappeared. But its appearance was still a significant milestone because even in the tightest spaces, they helped bring a bit of modern convenience to the small kitchen. If this video brought back good memories, give it a hype. Your support keeps nostalgic content like this alive. T-bar. Around the 2 decades of the 50s and 60s, the T-bar was a unique piece of furniture, an interesting combination of entertainment and serving. This was an all-in-one wet bar, portable to any room in the house, integrating both a TV and radio. The main purpose of the T-bar was to allow people to entertain guests easily and stylishly in any room of the house, from the living room to the recreational room. It truly looked like a mobile entertainment center, demonstrating the sophistication and style of the homeowner. The design of the T-bar was created to seamlessly blend with any decor style while adding a touch of elegance to the home. It represented an era when entertaining guests at home was an art, and the T-bar offered absolute flexibility, allowing you to serve drinks and provide entertainment without having to confine guests to a single space. Although favored by many, the dominance of the T-bar did not last. With the introduction and popularity of larger, more permanent home bars, and especially the emergence of the mini fridge, the T-bar gradually became redundant. The mini fridge provided more specialized drink cooling capabilities, while the fixed home bar became a larger gathering center, making the mobile T-bar an outdated concept. Like many other multi-purpose appliances, the T-bar was eventually replaced by more specialized devices and relegated to the list of forgotten appliances. GE Americana Breakfront Refrigerator. GE constantly strived to integrate functionality into household appliances, and the Americana Breakfront Refrigerator was the pinnacle of that effort. This was a multifunctional refrigerator, designed not just for cooling but also as an integrated workspace. The unique aspect lay in the design, an integrated counter surface strategically placed right between the upper and lower doors of the refrigerator. This area was designed to serve multiple purposes. Imagine needing a small counter to prepare drinks instantly, a place to mix cocktails, or simply an extra surface for snack preparation. The Breakfront did it all. This working area was also illuminated, providing ideal conditions for preparation work, and even came with a convenient cutting board. The convenience of having a working surface right next to the source of fresh food was a major draw. Furthermore, the freezer compartment of this refrigerator was equipped with an automatic ice tray filler, a luxurious and extremely advanced feature at the time. This refrigerator was introduced at the 1962 Seattle World's Fair, a major event for launching future technology, and quickly made a strong impression. However, despite being innovative, this design only remained on the market for a few short years in the mid-60s before disappearing. Thor Automagic Hybrid Washer. In the 1950s, manufacturers believed that one device could do everything, and the Thor Automagic was a bold experiment for that belief. Thor was already famous for its durability and reliable performance in the washing machine field. But when they introduced the Thor Automagic, they entered uncharted territory, a hybrid device that could handle both dirty clothes and dirty dishes. This idea sounds illogical by today's standards, but in the 50s, it was advertised as an optimal solution for space and cost. This top-loading washing machine was cleverly designed, with the capacity to hold both a removable clothes washing drum and a replaceable dishwashing drum. In theory, it offered incredible convenience. You only needed one appliance to tackle the two biggest burdens of household chores. The Thor Automagic claimed it could handle large laundry loads while eliminating the need for a specialized dishwasher, significantly saving kitchen space for new families. However, this idea was quickly rejected by consumers. Although Thor had a solid reputation for durability, the thought of washing clothes in the same machine as dishes created an insurmountable psychological barrier. Customers felt uncomfortable, even disgusted, using the same appliance for two completely different types of cleaning tasks. Percolator coffee pot. Before the automated drip coffee craze erupted, the percolator coffee pot was the preferred method for decades for making the morning cup of coffee. Its brewing process truly was a ritual. It involved boiling water and then continuously circulating the water through the coffee grounds, creating a distinctive bubbling sound. That sound was the unmistakable signal that a new day was beginning. This classic percolator pot was famous for its ability to produce strong and delicious coffee. The aroma of percolator coffee permeated the house, the authentic flavor of family coffee, a flavor that many nostalgists claim modern drip machines can hardly match. These pots were often an essential item on the stove, where people spent time waiting to enjoy their flavor. By the 1970s, everything changed forever, when Mr. Coffee appeared and announced itself as the first automatic electric drip coffee maker for the home. They promised incomparable convenience, good coffee at the touch of a button. Mr. Coffee was not only faster but also controlled the temperature and water flow better to brew better coffee. The arrival of this new giant quickly caused the percolator pot to be deemed time-consuming, complex, and relegated to the back of the kitchen cabinet. Trash compactor. In the 1980s, the amount of household waste increased significantly because consumers were consuming everything in convenience packages, and the recycling movement had not yet truly become popular. The trash compactor was a modern appliance that began appearing more frequently in affluent households, promising a neat and scientific solution to the waste problem. This device was advertised as being able to compress a whole week's worth of household trash into one small package. Although in reality this rarely happened as advertised, owning a trash compactor still provided consumers with a positive and responsible feeling. It made you feel as if you were contributing to reducing the waste problem of the 1980s. The trash compactor was an appliance installed under the kitchen counter, similar to a modern dishwasher, offering utility and waste management. However, despite providing a sense of usefulness, the trash compactor never became a standard appliance in every home. The cost, size, and complexity of handling compressed trash blocks likely prevented it from replacing the traditional trash can. Even so, it remains a memorable legacy of the 80s, a technological attempt to clean up our world one small landfill at a time. The feeling of contributing, even slightly, to waste reduction was a major motivation driving consumers to purchase this appliance, turning it into a symbol of the era's nascent environmental consciousness. Ronson Can-Do. If any appliance truly deserved the title of kitchen magician, it was the Ronson Can-Do. This multi-purpose utility became popular in the 1960s. The Ronson Can-Do was a compact, ambitious tool designed to replace many other countertop devices, making it a perfect solution for those wanting to minimize the number of utensils. The capabilities of the Ronson Can-Do included three main functions in a single device. It could open cans easily, sharpen knives to keep them sharp, and could even mix drinks. This compact device was created with a clear purpose: to simplify time in the kitchen. Its flexibility made it a popular gift and an essential item in many households. The Ronson Can-Do, the kitchen magician, performed the work of many kitchen appliances in one small tool. And then, just like many other multi-purpose devices, as more modern, more specialized kitchen tools became popular, the Ronson Can-Do began to fade. The specialization of new devices led consumers to switch to using more powerful and efficient tools for each specific task. Is there any other item you remember but don't see in this list? Please add it so we can complete this collection of memories together. Highly polished brass hardware. If you walked into a kitchen designed in the true style of the 1980s, you would see the sparkle of highly polished brass. The 80s was a period of ostentation and showcasing prosperity, and brass was the material used for most metal accessories in the kitchen to add a necessary layer of sparkle, bling. Everything had a golden glow. From cabinet pull handles, knobs, to hinges, all had a shimmering golden hue. Brass brought a feeling of luxury, warmth, and opulence to the kitchen space, contrasting with the neutral colors like white or almond of the appliances and walls. It was considered an essential design element to highlight the kitchen's appearance, reflecting the homeowner's aesthetic taste and financial capability. Popular for a while, design styles changed, and the excessive sparkle of highly polished brass was gradually replaced by metals with lower shine or darker materials, such as matte nickel or stainless steel. Polished brass required regular polishing to maintain its shine, which also contributed to making it less appealing in busy modern life. Glass-topped table. In the 1980s, kitchens, heavy traditional oak dining tables were no longer seen. Many families switched to using modern dining tables with glass tops. These tables provided an elegant and modern design feel, appearing in homes across the country throughout the 80s. Glass-topped tables had a sleek design, often featuring large and cumbersome bases, looking as if they weighed a ton. The contrast between the sophistication of the glass top and the sturdiness of the base created a distinct 80s style. To add more glamour and true 80s style, this glass tabletop could even be decorated with brass, matching the other sparkling metal accessories in the kitchen. The glass table represented a shift in interior design preference, moving towards lighter and less traditional looks. While providing a sleek and easy-to-clean appearance, the glass table did not maintain its popularity for long. The problem of visible fingerprints, unavoidable scratches, and the cold feeling of glass likely caused many families to return to the warmth and durability of traditional wood. But in its time, the glass-topped dining table was a symbol of modernization in the dining space, bringing an elegant and fashionable touch to family meals. Built-in desk. Over time, the kitchen underwent a significant expansion in size. Along with this expansion, the kitchen had to adapt to the appearance of personal technology. A common design element that emerged in kitchens of this period was the built-in desk right in this space. This desk was designed to hold the new computer or simply a place to manage paperwork and household bills. The built-in desk was often made of honey oak to perfectly synchronize with the kitchen cabinets, creating a seamless and organized space. It turned the kitchen into an operational center not just for meals, but also for family administrative tasks. Having a dedicated space for a personal computer right in the common living area was a major step forward, reflecting the growing role of technology in daily life. Today, as laptops, tablets, and mobile devices have replaced bulky desktop computers, the need for a fixed desk in the kitchen has decreased. Modern kitchen designs prioritize open spaces or larger, more versatile kitchen islands. Wallpaper border. In the 1980s, the trend of using wallpaper saw a subtle shift. Instead of covering the entire room with wallpaper like in previous decades, designers shifted to using wallpaper borders. Wallpaper shrank down to just a border running along the ceiling. This border was used to complement the kitchen's look, often featuring playful patterns or motifs that matched the general decor style. It provided a bit of color, pattern, or personality without making the kitchen feel too heavy or cluttered, especially when the walls were usually painted in neutral colors like white or almond. This was a simple and relatively inexpensive way to add a decorative accent, reflecting more sophistication than covering walls with large patterns from the 70s. The wallpaper border was an extremely popular decorative element in middle-class families. But then, like many other home decor trends, it was gradually considered outdated. Now, interior designers often prioritize clean, borderless walls to create a minimalist and modern feel. Cuisinart food processor. In the 1980s, if there was one appliance that deserved to be called the workhorse in the kitchen, it was the Cuisinart food processor. It was the must-have device in every modern kitchen, capable of grinding, mixing, and slicing everything. Initially, the Cuisinart was an aspirational device, only available at high-end retailers and priced high. Owning a Cuisinart was a statement of sophistication and culinary seriousness. The demand to own it soared immediately after it was used and promoted by famous television chefs like Julia Child. Being trusted by culinary experts transformed the Cuisinart into an essential item in housewives' kitchens everywhere. Everyone wanted this new device to simplify complex preparation stages, as Cuisinart changed the way people cooked, significantly cutting down preparation time and making complicated dishes easier to cook. It truly was a workhorse in the kitchen. This was the initial step in the transformation from traditional cooking to modern machine-based cooking, helping homemakers save significant time. Ginsu knife. The 1980s were also flooded with TV infomercials selling all kinds of kitchen gadgets, but the Ginsu knife was a product that truly left a deep impression. It became the star of these infomercials. The Ginsu knife was famous for its food-cutting capabilities thanks to unbelievable demonstrations, where the host showcased its incredible power. This knife could cut right through a tin can easily and immediately afterward without becoming dull. It could easily slice tomatoes paper thin. This demonstration created a spectacular contrast of sharpness and durability, causing families to rush out and buy it. The Ginsu knife was both durable and affordable, making it one of the most successful as seen on TV products of the 80s. From 1978 to 1984 alone, nearly 3 million knives were sold through television advertising. The Ginsu knife created a shopping craze based on exaggerated but effective advertising. Thanks to the power of television marketing, Ginsu became widely known, with almost every home owning at least one. Presto popcorn, now popper. In the early 1980s, home movie night was a novel ritual, especially with a brand new VHS or Betamax tape. However, that ritual would not be complete without hot, fresh popcorn. The Presto popcorn. Now air popper was the easiest way to create this snack. This hot air popcorn maker provided a clean and fast method of making popcorn without oil. It delivered a fresh and hot flavor, perfect for family entertainment nights. For many, it was even tastier when eaten along with an expensive VHS tape of the latest movie. This was before movie rentals became more common, and before the microwave became an even easier way to cook popcorn. The Presto popcorn now was a must-have appliance for every home cinema enthusiast. The popularity of the air popper gradually declined when the microwave oven became an even easier means of making popcorn. Convenient microwave popcorn replaced the air popper, but many people still cherish the sizzling sound and aroma of popcorn from the Presto popcorn now as a memory that will never return. Send this video to a friend or relative who lived through that era. They will surely be moved remembering these memorabilia. Chandelier lighting. If your kitchen was decorated in the true style of the 1980s, not only were metal accessories like cabinet handles made of polished brass, but even the chandelier hanging over the dining table very likely had sparkling branches made of polished brass. Brass chandeliers were a decorative element used to add a layer of sparkle, bling, and elegance to the space. It was often hung over the dining or island area, becoming a central focal point. The golden light of brass contrasted with the white fluorescent light from the dropped ceiling, creating a cozier space for family meals. It represented the homeowner's elegance and prosperity in the dazzling style of the 80s, a blend of the warmth of metal and the modernity of the design. Like other brass accessories, brass chandeliers gave way to more modern materials and lighting styles as interior design trends changed. Consumers began to prefer more neutral-colored metals or minimalist lamp styles. Novelty drinking glass sets. Do you remember the sets of glasses you used every day that were printed with cartoon characters or blockbuster movies? Novelty. Drinking glass sets were used as promotional items for a long time, and their boom occurred strongly in the 1980s. Many fast food restaurants use these collectible sets to attract customers into their stores, and this tactic worked incredibly effectively. Many families owned colorful collection sets from famous restaurant chains. Burger King had Empire Strikes Back glasses, Pizza Hut had E.T. glasses, and Hardee's had Smurfs glasses. These glasses were not just promotional items, they were essential items in the kitchen cabinet, and many of us had a diverse collection of these unique glasses. These glasses brought a sense of fun to children, and were a great way for families to show their passion for pop culture. They are everyday memorabilia that connect us to the favorite movies and TV shows of our childhood, turning a simple item into a collectible with great emotional value. Mr. Coffee Coffee Maker. Although the percolator pot was the preferred method of brewing coffee before, the introduction of the Mr. Coffee Coffee Maker in the 1970s completely changed the way we drink coffee, and it dominated the market throughout the 1980s. Mr. Coffee was the first automatic electric drip coffee maker for the home, and it quickly became an indispensable part of many houses. It had a modular design with a high gloss finish. Most importantly, it was patented for its brewing system. This patented system ensured better coffee brewing by controlling the water flow and brewing at a slightly lower temperature than other coffee makers. The result was a better, more consistent, and most importantly, faster cup of coffee compared to the percolator. It is no surprise that Mr. Coffee became the best-selling coffee maker in America and dominated the market. Although the market now has thousands of types of coffee makers, Mr. Coffee is still remembered as the pioneer, the appliance that redefined the American morning, transforming coffee from a time-consuming ritual into a one-button convenience. Built-in banquette seating. As kitchen areas expanded significantly, people began looking for new ways to create cozy and efficient dining spaces. Another popular design element was the built-in banquette seating. A banquette is an integrated dining area, often featuring bench seating built straight into the wall or kitchen corner, creating a cozy and space-efficient dining area. It helped maximize seating in smaller spaces and created an interesting architectural focal point. This built-in seating area was ideal for quick breakfasts, light lunches, or intimate family dinners. It transformed the kitchen into a more multifunctional and comfortable space where people could gather and relax, not just for cooking. Along with the expansion of the kitchen area and the integration of the built-in desk, the built-in banquette was a sign that the kitchen was no longer just a place for cooking, but had become an important center for living and relaxing for the family. Its popularity reflected the desire to create small, warm nooks right within the open kitchen area. Laminate or ceramic tile countertops. Kitchen countertops are a crucial element that defines the style of the kitchen. Kitchen countertops were often covered with laminate or ceramic tiles. These were practical and economical options for families at the time. Laminate countertops offered scratch resistance and easy cleaning, and came in many eye-catching colors and patterns, fitting the diversity of the 80s. Ceramic tile was also a popular option, offering a solid and durable texture. Both materials were less expensive than natural stone and easy to install, making them the top choice for most families when they upgraded their kitchens. While today granite and quartz have dominated the market thanks to their luxury and durability, laminate and tile countertops remain an indispensable identifying feature of the classic 80s kitchen. They were part of the characteristic color and material combination of that era, prioritizing practicality, easy maintenance, and affordability. Drop ceilings. Effectively illuminating the kitchen was a top priority, and drop ceilings, often accompanied by fluorescent lights, were the popular way to do this. Drop or suspended ceilings helped conceal wiring and ducts, while providing a flat surface for installing large fluorescent light panels. Fluorescent lights provided bright white light, ideal for a workspace like the kitchen, ensuring that the homemaker had enough light to accurately perform meal preparation tasks. Although fluorescent lighting might be considered harsh and cold by today's warm lighting standards, at the time it was a modern, economical, and highly effective lighting solution. Today, drop ceilings have been replaced by flat ceilings and more refined LED lighting solutions, focusing on warm light and space creation. For many, the slight buzzing sound of fluorescent lights in the kitchen is also an unforgettable familiar sound. Vertical blinds. Finally, the 1980s kitchen space would not be complete without vertical blinds. They were hung on almost every window and sliding door in the kitchen, becoming an undeniable aesthetic symbol of this era. Vertical blinds were extremely popular for many reasons. They had excellent light control capability in the room, allowing homeowners to easily adjust the amount of natural light entering the kitchen while maintaining privacy. More importantly, they perfectly matched the minimalist, straight-lined aesthetic of the 80s. Vertical blinds were made from various materials, including metal, vinyl, and PVC, offering many options when shopping. They provided necessary privacy but still allowed for the adjustment of natural light ingress. Although vertical blinds are still used, they are no longer the default choice for kitchens as they were in the 80s. People remember them as a simple yet effective item, clearly demonstrating the trendy style of a bygone era. The image of straight, clean vertical blinds is the final memory of a kitchen full of technology and style. If these beautiful memories brought a smile to your face and stirred cherished recollections, please hit the like, share, and subscribe buttons for Back to Yesterday so you don't miss any upcoming nostalgic trips. Thank you for watching.